And my mom would take us to museums like very young. Like the High Museum in Atlanta is a wonderful museum. And I remember seeing like Gee's Bend, like beautiful quilts, exhibits that stayed with me, and just like things that stayed with me. And she loves color, and like we would always talk about color.
That was SF artist Hollis Callas. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco, a show about artists, activists, and working people who make this city so special. Happy New Year, y'all! In this first episode of 2026, meet and get to know Hollis. I learned about her when her art was chosen to be SF's I Voted stickers. But I have a feeling I would have learned about her if that never happened. Hollis shares the story of her and her parents' Georgia roots, a life that's always been artistic, college and the years just after that, and the job that brought her to San Francisco. Join us this Thursday for part 2 with Hollis. Here's Hollis Callas.
Well, I'm from the South, from Atlanta, Georgia, and both my parents grew up in the South. It's interesting because I actually grew up in the same house that my dad grew up in.
Oh.
Yeah, so we had kind of a generational house. My grandpa grew up with us until he passed, and so and my parents still live there, so it's got a lot of history.
Amazing.
Yeah, and
does that go back to the 1800s?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
No.
19, though.
Yeah, definitely. I guess when my dad was born in 55, and he moved there when he was 3. So
okay,
yeah.
Mid 1900s,
yeah.
Mid-century.
Mid-century, some would say. Yeah.
And your parents are still there.
Yeah, they're still in Atlanta.
Same thing, except for the grandparents part.
Oh,
but,
really?
Like, my parents are still in the same house.
Yeah.
For worse, not for better.
Oh.
Anyway, not a podcast about me.
Let's dive into that. But yeah, they're both creatives. So
Both of your parents.
Yeah, my mom is a fabric person.
Yeah.
She studied fabric design and textiles, and she weaves and does these magnificent quilts. And my dad is a carpenter and builds everything. So I grew up in a house that was very hands-on, very, I get this from my mom, my poor husband. I'm also like this, but like we were always wanting to like paint a wall or change something in the room, or, the couch would look better over here. And I'm imagining maybe we tear that wall down and, and my dad can actually do it. So my house was just constantly transforming.
Interior decoration.
Yeah.
Also just like beautifying and
I think like chasing a more aesthetically pleasing environment.
And what is art if it's never done? Right?
It's never done.
So, do you know the story of how your parents met?
Yeah, I do.
Integral to you being alive.
Actually, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, they met at UGA, University of Georgia in Athens.
Bulldogs, right?
Go Dogs.
Yeah.
I really don't care about football. I was in art school.
I don't either. I care about dogs.
Yeah. Same.
Mm-hmm. And Bulldog is like one of my favorite.
They're very sweet.
They're the best.
So
it's funny that they get the rap of like being all tough because they're pushovers.
They're sweethearts.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is the mascot.
Yeah.
But yeah, they met there, and it's funny. I'm not exactly sure how they met, but when they first started living together, my parents were friends. My mom was good friends with the B-52s.
Yeah, from Athens.
From Athens, and they played one of their first shows at my parents' house. And my mom, what a snob.
Listeners can't see my brains flying from my head. Yeah, that's amazing.
So my mom said that she was kind of being a snob because they were like, "Can we play a show at your house?" And she was like, "I don't know if they're going to be good. I don't know." They obviously slayed, and so
Well, I don't know the ages of the B-52s. Are they roughly your parents' age?
Yes, and we've been to like a few different concerts when they would come through Atlanta. My parents went to like a reunion concert maybe 3 years ago in Athens, and I believe they're around my parents' age. Yeah, so my parents are 70 this year.
And you just like, do you casually know the B-52s?
I had been to like their shows, but I probably have met them, when I was a little kid, but not. Yeah. And my parents aren't close with them anymore, but it's a fun fact of my parents
story,
kind of like start. Yeah.
You said your parents were friends at the time?
No, they were friends with the B-52s.
They were already living together in Athens.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then actually I also went to UGA and met my husband there. So yeah, there's like a lineage. And actually like my grandfather and several of my uncles all went to UGA. So there's like a long history of Athens, Georgia.
So what up and coming band played at you and your husband's house? We're getting ahead of the story, but no.
My husband's band.
There you go.
Yeah, he's a musician. And he would always play at my house with whatever band. He was in kind of like a jazz trio when we were in college. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to your parents, so they were going to college.
Yeah.
And they met. And then how did it end up that when you came around, you were in Atlanta?
I was in Atlanta.
Not super far, but
yeah. My parents ended up moving back to Atlanta. My grandpa, when they were in their, I think they were in their 20s, mid 20s. My grandpa had a big stroke, my dad's dad, and so my parents ended up moving back in with him, and that's how they got back to the house that I grew up in. Ended up caring for him, and ended up raising a family there. I have an older sister. She was born, and then I was born, and we all grew up in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to specifically say. Not everyone is comfortable sharing their age, but like what decade are you from?
I'm very glad to share my age.
For sure.
I feel honored to live another year on this earth, and also I'm only 38. But
okay.
I think like sharing your age should be I don't know, I just feel like people should be proud about it because it's like we get to live another year. I made it, and I've earned my wisdom.
So that puts you like late 80s.
87. Yeah, 87.
So you did most of your growing up in the 90s. Is that correct?
90s kid. Yeah.
Let's hear about life in Atlanta in the 90s for Hollis Callas.
Life in Atlanta in the 90s. I mean, growing up, I was a big outdoors kid. I still am. I just constantly outside. My parents have they actually have like an acre backyard, which is kind of crazy for Atlanta.
Yeah.
They have a big backyard, it's a bird sanctuary. There's like
trees.
Yeah, just so many trees. Yeah,
trees
Atlanta.
as fuck.
Yes. Atlanta is the city in the forest. Like that's, it is, you fly over it and it just looks like green.
So romantic.
Yeah, it really is beautiful. So we get all the seasons and, I grew up in a time where it was okay to just like run around outside. Like go. And I just remember exploring. There were so many creeks, all around. And my parents also, like at the time growing up in the 90s, they were looking for a place up in the mountains to buy. And so we spent many weekends like going up to the Blue Ridge Mountains.
That's
looking
north,
for
right?
That's north, yeah.
But, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
still Georgia?
Still Georgia,
okay.
yeah. And I mean, the Blue Ridge Mountains go north also into other states. But yeah, they would take us to the mountains a lot. And we ended up getting a very small, tiny cabin in the mountains. And so I spent a lot of time there. And we had a creek and, I had just a lot of nature things.
Spending time there with your family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just my family.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just remember being bored sometimes, like as a kid, just like bored. And I would like come up, and I still have these like rocks that, like stepping stones into the house. And I like carved all of our names in there with like, I remember having like a rock and a nail that I had found, and I like carved everyone's name. So like I did a lot of projects.
DIY.
As a kid. Yeah, DIY.
Yeah, from an early age.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. So what age roughly are we talking about? Like
probably like 10-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you go to like public school in Atlanta?
Public school all the way.
All the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And actually, interestingly, my parents, so my mom taught art for a little bit, but then ended up going back to school and becoming a librarian.
Oh, awesome.
She was an elementary school librarian, and
school librarian.
Yeah, she taught, or she worked at my elementary school when I was in 5th grade. So I got 1 year with her there, which I loved. And
that might have been enough.
Yeah. Yes. At that age.
Too much mom at school is like, yeah.
But then my dad worked at my high school.
Amazing.
And he was
woodshop or
he taught. So I think in the early 2000s they changed woodshop to diversified technology.
Okay.
So my dad had to teach other things, but then he had a small wood shop, and he was also a cross country coach, which I did cross country. He wasn't my coach; he was the guy's coach.
Yeah.
But he was just like beloved at the school by everyone. So it was actually really cool to have him work there. I think if he wasn't cool, I wouldn't have liked it, but he was amazing. So
Mr. Callas.
Yeah. No, Mr. Griffith. Callas is my maiden name. Or Callas is my married name. Griffith is my maiden name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But the kids knew him as Mr. Griffith.
As Coach Griffith.
Coach Griffith.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to, give him props.
Yeah.
Give him props. So, I'm curious. I'm always curious of people in their adult life who have become artists. Like, you already mentioned the Stones.
Yeah, the Stones.
The nail, which I love. But like, when do you think, or what are some little like, either specific stories or kind of general stuff? Like, when did art kind of come into your life, or was it always there?
It was there.
Yeah, it was just there.
Even from like, I mean, I think as soon as people are always like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Like from the start.
Yeah.
Our society puts that on you.
You guys lay off.
I know. But upon asking that question, I mean, as early as probably kindergarten, I would say I want to be an artist or a veterinarian.
Okay.
And now I draw animals. So I kind of mix those worlds, skipped out on med school.
Less science.
Yeah,
route.
less science. But I love science, and I love like the study of all the, I mean, you can see all my books. Like, I like learning about the things I'm drawing. And so, yeah, it's interesting. Like, some of my earliest drawings my mom has like framed, and I swear they're kind of like the same. I'm like, I didn't really come very far.
I'm not going to judge or comment on that at all.
I'll have to send you a picture that she does have framed. I'm like, I really think if I drew this again, it would look like that.
It's uncanny a little bit. Yeah. Well, who says we have to evolve?
Yeah, right. But yeah, I was very, very into art
age.
and drawing and creating. And my mom would take us to museums like very young. Like the High Museum in Atlanta is a wonderful museum. And I remember seeing like Gee's Bend, like beautiful quilts, exhibits that stayed with me, and just like things that stayed with me. And she loves color, and like we would always talk about color,
Your
so it was
mom?
yeah.
Awesome.
So it was like a very art was very integrated in my house.
I can't remember now if we said on mic what she is into.
She does she's a fabric designer. She weaves, dyes fabric. She makes these beautiful quilts. She's just textiles.
And always been into color.
Yeah, very into color.
Which, that's relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so as far as you can know and consider and remember, it's just always kind of been here. At one point, you must have had to make a decision not to pursue veterinary science.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think
Are you still on the fence about
no,
that?
I always tell Greg, my husband, I'm like, should I go back to school and study like marine biology? He's like, no. What? I'm like, but then I can maybe help the animals more. He's like, I work with the Marine Mammal Center sometimes and do work for them. I'm like, I'm helping them in my way without going back to school.
Not even adjacent. You're in there in your capacity.
Yeah. But
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think like in high school I took AP art. I kept taking more classes, and it was just like a big part of like it was just a part of me, and I really enjoyed it, and I was like, I excelled at it, because at that point you get grades for things, So it's like I was doing good, and I was not doing good in like math.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm such a visual person. Like, it's interesting, in college I took I was always struggling with math, always getting tutored, like literally since middle school, always. I like am number dyslexic. I'm sure there's a name for that, but like you say or I look at a number and I try to say it, and it all just comes out jumbled. So when I was in college, I took a word problem math class. Aced.
Like a word puzzle thing?
Like, yeah, because it was just like all word problems. And it was, a train's coming at this, but I could visualize it.
Yeah,
And so it's like, it was a totally different type of equation. I was like, I'm good at this.
Yeah. The whole like solving for X thing, I'm like, you guys explained it wrong. If you put the numbers and the letters to mean something in real life, maybe we would have got it.
Say it's a piece of pie or a train coming at me. Like, I need some sort of visual.
Or both. Yeah. I don't know.
A piece of pie coming at me at 50 miles an hour. I just need some sort of visual. But yeah, so once I kind of like, you kind of figure what you're good at. I was really good at sports and I was good at art. I was kind of a jock.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned cross country. So
Yeah.
was there anything else besides that you
Yeah, I
did?
played soccer since I was like 5,
Okay.
on to 18, and then,
wow.
in college a little bit like intramural. And then my dad was a coach, and I always ran with him since I was a kid. And then we would do like half marathons together and all sorts of stuff, big races.
Okay.
And yeah, so I was always big into sports, and I was cross country captain and soccer captain. So
I'm going to piece together, because I was wondering if you went to art school, but I'm going to guess you didn't go to like an art specific school. You went to UGA.
Yeah, I went to UGA.
But studied art?
Yeah, studied art.
Got it.
Yeah, so I ended up studying art at UGA.
Was there ever a question of going anywhere else?
I really wanted to go to Appalachian State,
Okay.
which is like in Boone, North Carolina. It's like a tiny little mountain town. But Georgia has the Hope Scholarship, and they pay for your college
Amazing.
if you go in state.
Oh,
So-
is that the only criteria? Or-
You have to keep, well, now it's really hard. I think the grade point average is much higher now. I think you had to keep like a 3.0, and
But it's not specific to like art or sports or
it's
anything.
like keep
It's
it in
like-
state. It's to keep talent and
Okay.
achievers in state with high
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good incentive to stay in state because
Right.
Appalachian State was very expensive.
Was there any family pressure? You mentioned like generations in your
my
family.
family's my parents are so sweet.
Oh.
My first semester of college, I was like in an all girls dorm, and everyone was in a sorority, and I was not.
Oh.
I was like art freak.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone's like, "What are you?" I was like, "What do you mean? What am I? Like, are you an alpha, beta, zeta, theta, whatever?"
Yeah.
And so I remember calling my mom and being like, "Mom, I just like really don't think I like it here. Like, UGA is very like intense Greek life, and
Yeah.
like after one semester found my art school friends and found a whole nother side to Athens that is, music and art and culture and food that is waiting. But on the surface, Greek life is very intense at the start, especially with the games. And but my mom, her response was, college isn't for everyone. I'm like, what?
Oh, wow.
Mom, what? No. She's like, you could figure out something else to do. So no, there was literally no pressure.
The
and I'm like,
opposite.
yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm going to stay here because I feel like I was looking for some guidance.
That was your
like,
defiance. You're like, my mom's giving me too much leeway here.
Yeah, totally.
I relate to what you're saying. I'm from Texas, and I went to UT.
Yeah.
And I like Austin for probably all the reasons that everyone in the Bay Area likes Austin.
Yeah.
But there's that other side.
Yeah.
And it's gnarly.
Yeah.
For someone like me, possibly for someone like you. Yeah.
Yes.
So I relate on that level. I
Yeah.
also think like a lot of states have what I like to call their Austin.
Yeah.
And Athens is obviously
Totally.
Georgia's Austin.
Totally.
Okay, so did you like go to what is it called? Get a diploma or whatever? Graduate?
Did I? I have dreams
Oh.
sometimes where I'm like, did I not
worst.
graduate? What is that?
It's always like my dreams is like it's the end of the semester and I haven't done the project.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't studied for the test. I didn't go to
And
one
it's way
class.
too late.
And it's yeah.
Always.
And I'm sitting in the class and I'm waiting for the test and I'm like, I didn't take this class.
No, yeah, I like vaguely remember it, but I didn't do it.
So I studied ceramics. I ended up getting a degree in ceramics.
Awesome.
And I got a double major, a degree in ceramics and art education.
Oh yeah.
So I have this. I did graduate, but I do have a dream that I didn't turn in my final project for ceramics, but I did.
Is it a recurring dream?
It is.
Mine are recurring. Yeah, it's.
What is that?
It's been like 30 years for me.
I know.
Why?
I also have waitressing dreams where I'll be because I waitressed for many, many, many years, and I'll have 40 tables and the machines are down and I don't remember anyone's order. It's just pure chaos.
It's like a full episode of The Bear, but in your dream.
Exactly.
Okay, so what happened after graduation? Was it 4 or 5 years or something?
I did a victory lap. I was a super senior.
Okay.
Yeah.
That means 5,
So
right?
I did 5. Yeah.
5,
yeah. Yeah, because I had to student teach. So I ended up
Oh, yeah.
finishing my ceramics degree and then finishing my art education degree.
Awesome.
Student taught, and I was applying to jobs. So my senior year of college, in the fall, I ended up applying with my now husband, Greg. At the time, he was my boyfriend, to a teaching job in Spain through the Ministry of Education.
Wow.
So we applied in the fall and then didn't hear anything until finally next June. We get a letter that's like, you've been accepted. And I had been applying to jobs, trying to get teaching jobs for the fall. Greg was already working in Atlanta. And we were like, are we going to do this? Are we going to just move to Spain for a little bit?
Can I ask where in Spain?
Yes. We ended up moving to Zamora.
Okay.
In Castilla y Leon.
Okay.
It's like an hour, it's like 3.5 hours northwest of Madrid.
Okay.
Do you know Porto in Portugal?
Yeah.
So it's in the north. That same river, the Rio Duero, goes into Spain. And on the Spanish side, there's a small town, Zamora, and it's on that same river. Yeah. So we ended up moving to Spain.
All right.
And lived there for 2 years.
I'm curious, what did he do?
So he and I had applied together.
You applied together?
Yes.
Got it.
We had applied together, and we both got accepted.
Yes.
And ended up moving over there and teaching.
Was this roughly, I'm just doing the math as we've talked about, but roughly late first decade of the
So I graduated 2011.
Okay.
And we went.
2010s then.
Yeah.
Early
so
2010s.
then we moved that fall in 2011. We lived there till 2013.
Oh wow, 2 years in Spain.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that? I mean, it's a little
Let's
bit
talk about
outside of the jurisdiction
it had
of this
a huge
podcast,
influence
but
on
it's you.
Yeah,
so yeah.
No, it was amazing. We taught at a secundaria school, and it was like middle school, high school, and we taught English. And
did you speak Spanish already?
So the only requirement was that you had taken one Spanish class in college,
which a lot of people.
Yes, and so I had taken Spanish all throughout middle school, high school, and college. But it's really interesting because I thought I had a good base of Spanish, and then when I moved there, I was like, oh wow, I know nothing.
Right.
Because you don't train your ear in those classes, and when you're living somewhere, you just are completely immersed, and your brain's just functioning and overload, and you're just trying to take it all in, and the ear training really happens, so we ended up, it's amazing because over there you can take Spanish classes or whatever language classes for very cheap. So I had I think I got 6 hours a week, Tuesday, Thursday, 3-hour classes for $70 for the year or something.
Wow.
It was so affordable.
Amazing.
So we just dove into learning Spanish. We taught private lessons. So we ended up really integrating in the community and getting into a bike group and we started a Spanish English exchange. So we had it was really cool because it was a very small town and there was a lot of people that wanted to learn English and there weren't a lot of, native English speakers. So it was a really amazing opportunity to drop in somewhere, really help their community and then get to know the culture because it's just so rich there. And it's such a it's not an isolated town, but it's not a big, Madrid. It doesn't have a lot of expats. And it was a very special experience. And after a year, we were like, God, we're just feeling settled. Now we have friends and, feel good about it. Let's stay another year. And so we ended up.
You were able to re-up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then the second year happened and that came to an end.
It came to an end and it didn't have to. We could have renewed.
Oh.
But then we
wouldn't be here
right
now.
Yeah. So there was this
doors.
I don't know, they call it the American dream, but there's this tugging of our parents and just American standards being well, what are you going to do with your life? Oh. That question again.
From your mom too?
There was a lot of pressure to come back. Not necessarily what are you going to do with your life, but come back because you're away from your family, and you can't live in Spain forever. 2 years was
you can't?
Well, I'm realizing
that's
could have.
My bubble's bursting.
I'm constantly looking on ways to get back, but that's another podcast.
Correct.
But yeah, so
I'll produce that one for the record. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we both felt like we needed to get I'm doing air quotes, a real job. And so we ended up moving back and I got a teaching job.
In Atlanta?
Okay. I was offered a job in a high school, Alpharetta High School, which is in North Atlanta. And I took it. I was excited about it because it was I had gone to school for art education. It's very beautiful school with a brand new ceramics department. I was going to be leading the ceramics department, teaching high school.
Wow.
Yeah. So moved back.
At not even 30.
Yeah. Oh God,
still in
I
your
was such a
20s.
baby. Oh,
Right,
and when
right.
I got into the room, I was like, oh, I'm a child. These kids are literally my age. Like, some of the kids these days, like, they looked older than me. Yeah. So I think I was like 25.
Oh.
And I'm a very sensitive person, and like I'm very empathic, and like teaching these kids was so emotionally draining for me because they're going through a hard time. High school's hard, and I just wanted to be like, y'all are gonna be okay. Like it wasn't even the teaching part. It was like the emotions of high school. I was like, this is a lot for me. So I ended up teaching for a year, and the whole time I knew, I was like, this isn't for me.
Okay.
Like I just knew. I was So interestingly, taught high school, loved the kids, did not love the bureaucracy of like teaching art in a school system. And I loved the community. It was just, mixed emotions. Both my parents obviously worked in the school system, so they were like, just stick it out. It's a great job, and I was like, I can tell I'm not, like, something in my gut was like, you don't need to do this.
Yeah.
So one of the days at school, we had like a portfolio review for some of our kids that were in AP art. And we had different schools like SCAD and this place called the Creative Circus, and portfolio schools come to our school to set up kind of like booths, and the kids could talk to them about future recruiting.
Yeah.
I freaking got recruited.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, move over, kids. Yeah. Because there was a place in Atlanta called the Creative Circus, which was a portfolio school. So it's almost like a 2-year boot camp where you're learning different either graphic design, art direction, copywriting, photography. So it was geared towards the creative arts and kind of being in like an advertising scene, an advertising and design world. And they just like blew me away with their presentation. That week I went to an open house and I was like, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going back to school.
All right.
So I applied, got in, and that next fall I started school again.
And this was in Atlanta.
Yep,
Okay.
in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how long did you stay in that program? Was it 2 years?
It was 2 years. I ended up leaving a tiny bit early because I ended up getting a job out here.
That was artist Hollis Callas. We recorded this episode at Chloe Jackman Photography in the Inner Richmond. On the next episode, Hollis shares the rest of her San Francisco story. Part 2 drops this Thursday, wherever you get podcasts. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Our contributing producer is Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 8th season, we have more than 280 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If possible, please rate and review the show. I want to know what you think. Find us on Substack for our monthly newsletter and more. And follow us on Instagram and Threads at storiedsf. Reach us there or email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Try to stay hopeful in these dark times. Keep being wacky, creative, and kind out there. And we'll see you next time on Storied San Francisco. We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.